This project is supported by Northwest Local Land Services through funding from Catchment Action, New South Wales. Jason Dixon has undertaken a soil rehabilitation project on his property, known as water ponding, to improve the soil health and increase ground cover. Water ponding is a technique used for reclaiming scalded and unproductive country. U-shaped earth banks are constructed to pond water, improving soil conditions and enabling vegetation to establish. The banks of water ponds are designed to catch surface runoff and create conditions ideal for the re-establishment of vegetation on scalded areas. Water ponding can also be used for pasture improvement. Ponding banks, as they are often called, are designed to be used on fairly gentle slopes. They should not be used on steep slopes because they are not designed to catch fast-flowing surface runoff or intercept watercourses. Ponding banks are only designed to pond 10 centimetres of water. Through wetting the soil surface, the clay shrinks and swells, allowing natural cracking to occur, which allows water to infiltrate and roots to penetrate into the subsoil. This area was previously stripped of vegetation due to wind and water erosion and grazing over many years, resulting in the topsoil becoming compacted, allowing very little water to infiltrate into the subsoil. The banks were surveyed by Ray Thompson from Nyngan and constructed by Drew Dickinson from Weewaw. Following construction, Jason sowed a mix of tropical grasses into the site and removed all stock to allow pastures to establish. The ponds have collected water over time, allowing the pastures to germinate and, with an improvement in seasonal conditions, the site has grassed up, which has provided a grazing opportunity and increased the productivity from this site. A monitoring site has been established to measure pasture composition and density and determine the amount of dry matter that is being produced from the site. This information is useful in monitoring the improvement over time.
Righto, I'm Jason Dixon from Rosebrook Weewaw. The problem and the issue to start with is because we didn't have no ground cover, a lack of grass and the water shedding off. That was the main issue. The water was getting away and we weren't getting any benefit by it. Productivity was extremely low. I did have a bloke comment to me this paddock was like a sheet of corrugated iron and just as productive. Yeah, no, when it was dry, the wind and that would blow and everything would blow away and there was limited ground cover, just no ground cover here, nothing to hold any cover. We got Ray Thompson to survey the site in 2019, July 2019, and then we followed up 2 months later with a local contractor to grade the banks up, which are here today. And then we followed up and sowed a grass mix in here, Northwest Plains grass mix, in late November, early January. And we did put a little fertiliser on to start with that. And then it started to rain late January and then things started to happen here and it's rained ever since. And we let it sort of get away for a period of time and now we're starting to graze it and it's going pretty good. What I noticed at first, when we first put the banks up, when it rained, the water held here for a lot longer. And I used to come down and look very regularly. And after the second main bigger rain event, the water started to penetrate a lot better and used to go into the soil. But for a fair period of time, the water used to just sit here and lay on top of the ground. But now it goes in the ground with a bit more ground cover and grass taking it down. The species of grasses that we sowed here was Rhodes grass, Premier Digit, Bambatsi, and Panic grass. And we only sowed it at 2 kilos a hectare because I wanted to keep the natives and promote them too, so I put a lighter rate than what you should do. And the native grasses, it's helped them and they're going well too. Yeah, I predominantly run sheep here, but I do run a few head of cattle too. And the sheep eating certain species and grass, and I put the cattle in here sometimes just to take the top of it and keep it short and sweet for the sheep. And that seems to be working. We've had a field day and a farm walk here so far, and there's plenty of people in the local area often give me a phone call or pull up and have a look. It is right near the road and everyone used to drive past and see this paddock and it wasn't very productive. Every now and then you fluke something and you get a bit of something in here, but yeah, it's more than doubled, tripled this paddock and I can run a few more stock in here, so it's great. Yeah, the size of this paddock is 20 hectares and they roughly put a pond, one pond per acre. I think there's 53 or 4 ponds in here, so, and that's sort of the scale of it, and definitely want to do more. I'm a grazier, not a farmer, so I'm happy to have more grasses and more species, and yeah, that's what I'm aiming to do.